What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Loreena McKennitt. And we're returning to her 1994 album, The Mask and Mirror. Thank you again to Michaela. And the next tune is the Bonny Swans. So Bonny, although I typically see it spelled differently than this, I typically see it with an I and an E, but presumably this is the same word. It means like fine and good and even, handsome or pretty and happy and merry, but I've often seen it used ironically, like, oh, the bonny prince whoever, meaning someone who is, maybe presenting themselves in a like overly happy way, but the person saying that phrase is regarding them as being either plastic or fake or not worth the view that other people have of them. So yes, in the moment, swans don't strike me as something where you would use it ironically, so maybe it's a more straightaway usage. But swans, birds that have an elegance, a grace, and perhaps in a sense, not like a mystical nature necessarily, though perhaps in the context of this album, just based on the first track, I'm more inclined to think in that direction. But they certainly have a, what's the right, like a rarity to them. They're not like a common bird that you see everywhere all the time, but a bird that is often in water or flying over it, and which may catch your eye because of their size and again their elegant or graceful appearance. Now, of course, swans, like all of the title here, could be more metaphorical. It could be about some dream. It could be about something where we're not talking about actual birds, and where Bonny may have some other meaning beyond what I'm thinking. And I suppose Bonny is a name that people often have, though using it as a modifier of swans makes me think it's more the usage that I'm familiar with. But not really knowing her music beyond a very small introduction and then the first track on this album, I don't really have a means of interpreting it based on her other work. But yes, it sounds like an image in a dream, or a visual that could be metaphorical for some human-related process. I'll see what I can catch on a first listen. This is Loreena McKennitt. The track is The Bonny Swans, and it's from her 1994 album, The Mask and Mirror. album's gonna kill me. I mean, it's just another brilliant tune. I'm not quite sure what's happening. The two lines that stood out the most were drowning, what was it, something about drowning for a man, and then the swan is swimming on a something pool. Maybe I'm not hearing the last part of that line correctly. And there were some other phrases and tidbits I heard over the course of the track, but the sonics were so incredible and her voice so beautiful and elegant that I find myself really keying in on the musical side of the track. So definitely one I'll have to re-listen to and look forward to hearing people comment on the themes or the narrative, such as it may be. But yes, if you're drowning for the sake of a man, was that the line? Then it sounds like there's a sacrifice. It sounds like there's a willingness to succumb to the elements, whatever that might mean, more literally or figuratively, for the sake of another or for the sake of an emotion vis-a-vis another. And perhaps the swans are representative of that. Perhaps the swans are a visual referent in the context of this drowning, again, be it more literal or otherwise. But I just love the, like, there's like a cello, then it's responded to by a fiddle or a violin, though I think it's played more in a style that I would call a fiddle. And then, again, whether it's a cello or just another string flourish of the same melody, then it's responded to by an acoustic guitar. A very rich and, once again, folksy meets mysterious or even mystical sonic atmosphere, but with a bit of a Celtic flavor again. So again, it's making me think of a very visual scene, maybe a pre-modern scene, maybe a fantasy type of scene, which again, like the context of a fantasy scene mixed with the visual specificity of Swans makes me think, again, that this might be some sort of story that's like a classic tale or a legend or, you know, some cultural belief or narrative that could be seen as having relevance to a more, like, specific interpersonal tale. Yeah, like I'm taken away, I'm whisked away to some mystical type of feeling, even if I don't know the specific contours of that narratively. And yes, her voice is beautiful, the instrumental arrangement, I mean, the arrangement itself is like this, like I would have loved to have been in the studio. I'm getting vibes like, a bit like Kate Bush, where, you know, she's this storyteller and she's using sonic stylings and vocal delivery that is majestic, but also, you know, incredibly unique or like off the beaten path. But I'm also getting storyteller vibes from someone like Joni Mitchell, where, you know, I'm trying to figure out the different scenes to the tale she's telling. So it feels like there's some elements, and indeed sort of an eccentricity not unlike Suzanne Vega. So it feels like there's some other female solo artists that I'm going through that I'm getting similar vibes, but even then, this is kind of in its own territory, again, with a bit of a fantastical, mystical, Celtic sort of environment. So a tune that has me sort of awestruck and breathless, even if I don't really know what's happening thematically and narratively. But yes, just another really fantastic tune. Very much looking forward to this. I do have some songs from a live performance of this album, so once we go through the proper album, we'll have that to look forward to and more from Loreena. So thank you again to Michaela for sending a lot of material from her. Thank you again to Yvonne for introducing to me to her through the Lucky Dip reaction I did. Just very much looking forward to more Loreena. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.